Hello everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Cooking with Grandma. Today it's going to be a really fun bake day. Today I'm making no-bake peanut butter chocolate crack. Yes, you heard me right, crack. Not the crack that's not good for your body, but the chocolate peanut butter kind. So, if this doesn't give me comments of views, hey, Grandma's making crack, everybody. Go look at her channel. She's making crack on the air. Okay. So, what we need for this recipe, and it's no bake, which means it's really cool. You put it in the fridge, and you don't have to worry about oven and extra dishes or anything. Perfect. So, to start off, we need a half a cup of butter melted. When your recipe calls for butter melted, that means you melt it first and then measure your half a cup. If it says a half a cup of melted butter, then you put it in a half cup measuring cup and melt it. There's a little bit of a difference if you do it the other way. So we've got, and it also calls for it's 1 1/4 cup graham cracker crumbs. I've already got those in my bowl. These are my bowls Dino Brody got me for Christmas. So you can't see through them, but that's okay. I can show you what's in there. I took graham cracker that I have in the cupboard and crushed them up in the blender. You can buy graham cracker crumbs. You can buy them in the store. I happen to have graham crackers on hand, and I just throw them in the blender, easy peasy. So also, before you start, you take an 8-inch pan and you line it with tin foil. This makes cleanup super easy because when it's done, you take them out, you flip it over, pull the tin foil off, cut them into bars, put them on a plate, and you're good to go. Trust me, they do not last very long. Alrighty, so let's get started. So in your bowl, you want to mix the melted butter with the graham cracker crumbs. So in the butter goes. I had already previously melted the butter. Okay, so we're mixing our melted butter with our graham cracker crust. Mix that in together. And then we're going to put 1 cup of peanut butter. You can use chunky or smooth. This calls for a cup of peanut butter and then later 2 teaspoons. So I'm going to use smooth at first and then crunchy later. So we need 1 cup. I'm going to take it out of my melted. Right, and what's nice, if you use the cup that you melted your butter in, peanut butter will not stick now because you've got that extra coating, so it just slides right out of that cup perfectly. That's a good tip as well. If you're measuring peanut butter or honey or anything sticky like that, if you coat your measuring cup with butter, it won't stick. It'll just slide right out, and you don't have to scrape and not get everything out. So there's 1 cup of peanut butter. So you mix that, and you mix the confectioner's sugar, icing sugar, and you need a cup of icing sugar. Okay, cup of that, and it goes. This is going to make our crust for the crack bars. There's 1/4, 1/2, 3/4, and 1 cup. It makes quite a lot, and they are very sweet and very decadent, so when you take a piece, you just want a small one. They're really, really rich. Okay, so we're mixing half a cup of butter melted, 1 1/4 cups graham cracker crumbs, 1 cup of peanut butter, and 1 cup of confectioner's sugar. So we're going to mix this all together, and we're going to pat it into the bottom of our foil lined baking pan, 8-inch pan, and then you put it in the fridge to chill it. Now it says to chill it for 1 hour. I just usually chill it until I'm done with the next step, and then put it back in the fridge. It's early in the day. We're not going to be eating this for a while, so it'll have to just chill a little bit longer to set. So there we go. And there's what it looks like. We're going to just push this down and use the back of the wooden spoon and push it all down, and it takes a little bit, kind of got to work with it. You can use your hands if you like, either clean, you washed your hands before you did any baking. So there we go. We just pat it down. You can use the back of a glass, the back of your measuring cup. Hands work better. You get the feeling of it, you know what it's like. Okay, so there is your crust nicely patted down. There it is. Peanut butter, butter, confectioner's sugar, and graham cracker crumbs. We're going to put that in the fridge. And now, to make the next layer, what you do is, now you put your chocolate, the 2 teaspoons of peanut butter, shortening, and melt for 5 minutes, and then add the Rice Krispies. So what this is one cup of dark morsels, like, you know, chocolate chips or whatever. I do not have chocolate chips on hand. You have to melt them anyway for this recipe. So what I do is take my cocoa powder, and I take melted butter. In this case it was 1 cup, because I need 1 cup of melted cocoa, of dark morsels. So I took 1 cup of butter, melted it, and put 4 tablespoons of the cocoa powder, and there you have it. You have melted chocolate. That's an easy substitution if you don't have any chocolate. And if the recipe calls for it melted anyway, I mean, if it calls for just chocolate chips, then I guess you got to go buy chocolate chips. But it calls for melted chocolate chips, so that's how you get away with that. So we put 1 cup of dark morsels. Now 2 teaspoons of peanut butter. This time I'm going to use the crunchy just to give it a little extra. And we put 2 teaspoons of peanut butter in the bowl with the chocolate. And 1 teaspoon of shortening, butter, margarine, and it goes. Okay, so we place the chocolate, the peanut butter, and the shortening. We melt it for 1 minute. I'm going to give it a stir because my chocolate is already melted, so I don't have to. I would just normally put this in the microwave for 30 seconds or so. But because my chocolate is already melted, you just stir it in, and it incorporates the butter and the peanut butter right in there. So there you go. Easy peasy. And there is that chocolate deliciousness. Alright, and now we need to put in our Rice Krispies. So we need 3/4 of a cup of Rice Krispies. Kind of like a real grown-up decadent version of Rice Krispie squares. So 3/4 of a cup. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. The Rice Krispies are in. We give that a good stir, a good mix. And that is all there is to it. You scrape off your spoon. You don't want anything left on this spoon. And it all in your bowl. So you get your crumb mixture out of the fridge. And we're going to add that in. I'm just going to add a little bit of sugar, about a teaspoon, because I just realized that I used unsweetened baking cocoa. And that's okay if you're making chocolate cake because it's mixed in with sugar. But for this, you're going to taste it and you don't want it bitter. So let me just give that a test. That's better. Yeah, because you don't want that bitter. You want a sweet chocolate. I didn't read the label. My fault. I mean, I probably knew it was unsweetened, but didn't think of it when I melted it down. There we go. Perfect. So it took about 3 teaspoons of sugar. And there it is. Chocolate, peanut butter, butter, Rice Krispies. So now you put that on top of your, let me get my spatula here. You put this on top of your graham cracker crust. There we go. Spread that on top of your crust nice and evenly. Spread it on top. You chill it for a few hours, and there you have it. Chocolate peanut butter crack. Enjoy. Look in the description for the recipe, for the ingredients. Follow the video for the step-by-step directions. Have a good day and enjoy your crack.